What's special about the Eola-Amity Hills is very hard to define, but I think in general it creates wines that are more nuanced with more layers of flavor than other regions within Oregon. It has very similar soils to Dundee, but they're shallower. So whereas Dundee, the typical soil may be Jory, which is 4 to 8 feet of topsoil before you hit this volcanic rock. Here they're 2 to 4 feet deep, and then some are a little deeper, but on the whole, on these hills here, especially the east side of the Eola-Amity Hills, facing the mountains, the Cascades, we get the morning sun. So during the growing season, we have the longest days possible. We also have shallower soils, so it builds up less fruity, less fruit mid-palate, less density of wine necessarily, but more layers of flavor, more finesse, more complexity. And I think that allows us to make wines that are extremely interesting and sophisticated and appeal to a wide international audience. I think one that likes Burgundy, this is probably the best place in the world to grow outside of Burgundy because of that. I find that the floral, the savory, and the mineral aspects of this, in addition to the fruit that underlies it, is compelling. And I've always thought so from the moment I discovered the nature of the Eola-Amity Hills in the mid-1980s when I first tasted wine made by Adelsheim from Seven Springs Vineyard. And ever since then, whenever I went to blind tastings, wherever they were held, all autumn in San Francisco, there was a gentleman, Tom Elliott, who really represented Oregon wines very well, almost exclusively in his portfolio. And he'd do blind tastings annually. And every time I took my top notes, and they weren't done by region, they were just sporadic by alphabet. And every time I took my notes, my top wines came from the Eola-Amity Hills.